Hello and welcome to Sporting Jibberish. I'm Stu Booth.
I'm Jack Luffman.
In a completely bizarre and strange setting. We're not going to say anything. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to spin you around.
What, like Kylie Minogue?
Yeah, well, she was here last time, so for the people that know, you know. For those that don't know, we are actually based at the Dubai Rugby Sevens this weekend, and I'm donning my very own Dubai Wanderers cricket top.
I was about to say you're looking sharp.
Well, at least one of us looks good in pink.
It's my colour, I think.
Really? Right, okay, right. Well, we're going to try this. This is first attempt, one attempt, and we're only going to go one take.
We're just going it. We're just going for it.
We're going to hit this hard. So this week we are going to be talking the sevens for some bizarre reason. I'm not sure why, and we'll find out how Jack's got on the sit today.
I'm just going to put my shades on.
Yeah, well, looking cool. We're also going to be talking about Ralph.
I can't even pronounce this. Rania, the Man United fella.
Yeah, the potential new Man United coach. We're going to be talking Premiership, and Jack of always wants to stick in something to do with cricket just to bore us to tears.
Of course we are. Why not?
Right, so let's start off. Well, we'll start off with the sporting week, and then we'll talk a bit about the
Okay, yeah.
So how have you got on? Obviously, the big game was the Exiles in the DSL competition, because I need to be clear here, because there is current competition going on as we speak.
Correct. Yes. So the DSL eliminator final to take your place in the semi-final was last week. Well, we won. I don't know if I want to say any more. We just won.
Yes, I believe. Well, I believe it got a bit antsy, did it?
Well, it's a bit antsy. Yeah, it was a bit fiery at times, but I think it was always going to be for obvious reasons.
Oh, did it? Just
try.
a great try in the
What a try. Junior girls player, what a try that was. Yeah, no, it was a good game. We lost the toss and batted first in the morning. I never know what to do here in the morning at this time of year, because there's a lot of dew on the pitch. So obviously when that happens, the outfield is quite damp. Ball gets a bit wet, so the ball doesn't fly across as you would like. But also bowling, obviously the ball gets wet, so I don't know what the best thing is. We lost the toss, we got stuck in, and to be fair, we got off to a good start. Me and Will put 60 on in 8 overs, and then not on an easy wicket either. It's on pitch one. Now pitch one here has had a lot, for those been following cricket, has had a lot of cricket on in terms of IPL practice games, World T20 games. It's the best oval, so and you can feel it. It's very tired. Anyway, we managed to get ourselves to 169. Which I think,
great number.
Well, yeah, we're 11 short. 180 we were aiming for, so we were a bit short. But to be fair, we started off with the ball tremendously well, and in the end, I think we won by 8 to 9 runs. But it was a lot closer than that.
Listen, let's just cut to the chase. I believe it got a little bit heated to the point where one of your players is now suspended.
Yeah, well, to begin with, when I was batting, I got bowled out. Fair enough, fair play, and I wasn't particularly happy with the send-off that I got, I'll be honest. I don't think there's any need for it, but we won't go into that. So it was a bit, and for obvious reasons, there's a bit of tension there. And then when we were fielding, I took the first catch at slip, and the lad was straight in the hands. The lad decided to stay there and said it bounced. It didn't. So just one of those things. And it did. To be fair, it did go over the top from both sides, and I think our players rightly got a bit of a ban, but we're interested to see what happens to the other guy, because I think he wasn't completely blameless in the situation. Okay. But hey ho, is what it is. We've dealt with it internally. The league have dealt with it, and we go again next week. So we play a semi-final next Saturday.
Excellent, and that is against
Valley
the
Boys.
Valley Boys,
yeah.
who you've lost to twice.
Yeah, we have. So we owe them one, unfortunately, because we've got 3-4 teachers in our ranks. We've finished school next week, so. Ash is going off to get married. I mean, back in England means some excuse.
How selfish that is.
And then one of the other two or three are flying back. So I'm not saying we're bare bones, but we've got to see what occurs, because actually, to be quite honest with you, if we go by what their stipulations are in terms of playing 2 league games or whatever, we actually can't put a side out.
Oh dear.
So we'll see what happens. But we'll get there, whether it's we'll get a side out this week or whether we go, they put it back to after Christmas. We'll see.
Okay, good stuff.
What about yourself? You didn't play Wednesday, but you did Sunday.
Yeah,
correct?
so I played for. They drafted a few of us in for the third team on Sunday. Lost 4-3. Started at centre half. Got the old manager give me the old promises at half time. 10 minutes, Stu, you're up front. It's like a million. I thought you said 10 minutes from the start of the half, not 10 minutes to the end of the game. So I think when I went up front, we were 3-1 down. Got brought down for a penalty. The lad missed the penalty. off the rebound, he kicked the ball when he should have let me hit it. He obviously is a double hit then. So they got the indirect free kick. They played it out. I took the ball off the lad. He then rugby tackled me. So I was about to get a second penalty in the space of 10 seconds. And it landed to the other centre forward who scored to make it 4-3. And then in the last minute of the game, I played the centre forward too, and he's missed his chance to draw us 4-all. But yeah, I got a grand total of 7 minutes up front.
But made a difference. Telling you, All Stars, you need to listen to me.
Well,
get the lad up front.
We'll see. So we were supposed to then play Wednesday, but as per usual, the other team pulled out. So we've still only played 3, and some teams have played 8.
I mean, if it keeps going,
7.
you want to do what I did. If you're not happy, just create your own club.
Well, yeah, what? Yeah, but you only created that club because you couldn't get a game at Exiles. That's the reason. But yeah, I'm a bit worried. Security guys coming directly towards us.
We're all right. We're just filming. We're all right. Hi, boss.
So if you want to be here, just give us a wave.
Give us a wave.
Give us a wave. There we go.
I mean, he's got a beanie hat on it. It's not cold.
Yeah, it's absolutely roasting.
Thank you.
Yeah, random. But yeah, so yeah, that's our week. But right, this is the reason why we're here. Okay, you'll see these guys all over the place. Rugby Sevens is without a shadow the best sporting weekend in Dubai.
Brilliant, and it's obviously been away for 2 years. I think that they've had bigger, bolder, better.
Yes.
And well, it started off well, hasn't it? Because everybody's off today.
Yes. Because
it's national holiday for the national day. So the UAE is 50 years old today. So everybody's got a day off, and it's fabulous, isn't it?
Yeah, it's for you don't understand. For the guys back in Preston, if you imagine Cotton, where we have so many really nice pitches, there's 9 grass pitches here, 1 encased in a stadium. And there's literally rugby games going on all the time. So I'm just going to spin you around because the game we did see before is now finished. And we actually have a group of girls warming up ready for the next game. But yeah, you've got the main pavilion, you have got the main stand there. So yeah, it is all going off. I keep forgetting Jack's got the mic and I'm walking off. But yeah, the good thing about this is obviously now this year we've got cricket going on, which is what Jack's been playing in this morning. We've got the rugby going on, so my lads here playing for school in the under-19 competition. We lost their opening game, unfortunately. Played relatively okay, but giving 2 or 3 years away on each team, so it's a learning curve for them this year. And then we have netball as well.
So we've got school netball, and then on top of that, we've got lots of staff playing, haven't we? You know, I'm playing cricket, a few playing netball, a few playing rugby. So it really is. If anybody back home, I was about to say you could compare all the pitches. We haven't got anything like this in Lincolnshire. Not a bean. There should be. It's the way forward. The amount of land in Lincolnshire is the way forward. And collaborate and pull money. It's a fabulous event. If you watch it, if you've got Sky, watch it because the international Rugby Sevens is live on Sky Sports.
Yes.
So you'll see the main stand, and we're just sort of filming 50, 100 yards away from that. It's a fabulous weekend. Weather's beautiful. We've had a few little Libiners. It tastes a bit like Libina as well, don't it?
They do, yeah.
And we're going to have a few more in a minute. But Sevens weekend. We've won both our games.
So on to Jack's games. You played 2 games, 7-a-side competition, which is a strange format of cricket.
Yeah, 7-a-side, 6 overs, so everybody but the wicketkeeper has to bowl. But you can sub on and off. So in both games, I fielded for 5 of the 6 overs, come off, the lads come on and bowled, which was absolutely class. Can't beat that. And then, it's some little other anomalies like there's scoring zones where you can play. If you hit it in there on the full, it's a 7 rather than a 6, obviously. Actually, in our first game, Clint actually won the game with a 7. So we've won 2 games really well. The last game when you were there, Stu, we probably should have lost, to be honest, shouldn't we?
Oh, yeah. Going into the last over, considering it's only 7-a-side, they needed 10 off the last 6 balls.
And didn't get... I think they got 6, did they?
I think they needed 6 to win it. They needed 8 off the last ball to win.
Yeah, something like that. So yeah, tremendous last 2 overs from Clint and Avi, who's found his keys and his phone and is back in good books with the missus. But anyway, so we've got another pool game tomorrow morning, and then obviously wherever we go, then we'll go into some sort of cup or play competition. But great to be involved. And looking forward to the weekend. Beautiful.
Right, well, what we'll do is we'll quickly run through it. This is going to be a shortened version. Obviously, we've been outside now for the podcast. We'll just quickly run through the results from last week in the Premiership, the games that have been played the last few nights. So Arsenal beat Newcastle 2-0, which obviously combined that with their result 1-0 against Norwich last night, or when you listened to this 2 nights ago. It's putting them in real dire straits. Yeah. As we just talking, is she going to make it? Is she going to make it? She's going to...
Yeah,
she's right in the corner.
Very
well done,
good.
Excellent.
Live on Sporting Jibberish, that try.
Not camera though. And then we have Crystal Palace 1, Aston Villa 2. So that's 2 victories from 2 for Steven Gerrard. Yeah. But unfortunately, obviously they went down to City last night. but a spirited attempt.
Yeah, and also I think going in, he'd have written that one off. You've got to be realistic, haven't you? As much as he'll want to get as high as he can in the league, he's got to be realistic.
Did you see Bernardo Silva's finish?
Oh, did you see the move though?
Yeah, but the finish was
just class,
immaculate.
Absolutely class. It's nice to see Grealish get a nice reception as well, though.
Yeah, Liverpool 4, Southampton 0. Pretty much as we thought it would go, and very similar again last night with regards to the result against Everton. Everton trying to stage a mini comeback just before half time, and then maybe the first 5 minutes after in the second half, but didn't really get anywhere near Liverpool.
Benitez ain't got long left, has he? I think it was a bizarre appointment.
I think it's a bizarre appointment, but I also feel a little bit for him because he has been given. And just a bizarrely, I was speaking to a guy over here, and he's a big Everton fan before, and he was saying he doesn't blame Benitez, and he'd actually give Benitez a bit more time. His view is the director of football and the board are the ones that need to be.
I can see that
finger pointing,
but he'll go.
Yeah,
he's not got enough backing of the fans for obvious reasons.
Yeah, and then we had Norwich 0, Wolves 0. Norwich slowly picking up points under Dean Smith, and again, I think beforehand they would have took a 1-1 at Newcastle.
Yeah.
But I think the way the game played out, they'll be a bit disappointed they've not gone for 3.
Yeah, I mean Clark sending off in that game is absolutely ridiculous.
Just in my head, I'm literally thinking you're a Premiership footballer, top end of the echelon in football. Why are you making that decision to bring somebody down? Let him go through 1-on-1. If you go 1-0 down after 20 minutes, you've got plenty of time.
Yeah, or if he feels he has to make a tackle, I agree with it. I don't think he needs to, but at least make a tackle.
Yeah.
You got half a chance then, but just ragging him back, just ridiculous.
And then the other game was Brighton 0, Leeds 0. In a game which Shrek told me before, Brighton should have been 4 up at half time. And resulted in a 0-0. And then obviously Leeds picked up a last-minute win against Crystal Palace a couple of nights ago. Brentford 1, Everton 1. We've mentioned about Everton.
Yeah.
Brentford have got their game tonight, so it'll be
Spurs.
See how well
3
they
points
do.
for Brentford.
Yeah, it's a good chance. Leicester 4, Watford 2. Which, if Watford are doing anything at the moment, is scoring plenty. Leicester important points, and then obviously they've then gone last night and drawn 2-2 with Southampton.
It's an interesting thing, Watford, because obviously Ranieri's decided he can't defend. His strength is going forward, and you've mentioned the likes of Dennis and Josh King and things like that. So I think he's decided we'll just fight 5-5. And you know what? Like if they get on a run like they did against Man U, it might just if they score 3 or 4, they could hold on, couldn't they?
Well, I watched the beginning of the game last night, and they went at Chelsea. And for the first 10 minutes, Watford should have been 1 or 2 up, but haven't punished Chelsea. And then obviously a fans collapsed.
Yeah.
Which has then killed the game for 20 minutes. And then when they came back out, Chelsea weren't scoring. Yeah. So it just shows how that breaking play probably went against Watford. City beat West Ham 2-1. Wasn't as comfortable, I think, as City probably wanted it. And then obviously West Ham last night have drawn 1-1 with Brighton, which we thought they were going to drop points at some point. Could this be the start of this run?
I just think, I don't want to say that the bubble's burst, because I think that would be completely unfair, but I just think that, they're that sort of side, they were probably punching a little bit above the weight in the top 4, and, I think they're a top 6, top 7 side, like there's a few sides like that, isn't there?
Yeah.
And I do think when you watch them play, a lot relies on what a good game Antonio has and how disruptive he can be, and then defensively, at the end of the day, defensively they've still got Craig Dawson at centre half.
Yeah, I think he's just a covering player at the moment, isn't he? He's just got backup squad.
Anyway, but they're going up. They're still going all right. There's not a problem.
Yeah, and
somebody
then
from the Russian rugby here.
Chelsea
looks lost.
Yeah, Russian national team player. Doesn't look like a rugby player.
It was like a tennis player actually.
Yeah.
Netball, maybe netball.
Maybe netball. Chelsea then drew 1-0 with Man United. Great first game for Carrick, and I haven't seen the penalty, but I've heard lots of arguments about it. Should have, shouldn't have been. Yeah. But I believe the defender had his arms up in the air.
Yeah.
Always his arm out.
Yeah.
He couldn't quite get to the ball, and the lads flicked it on.
I think so.
As a defender, you should be knowing that you can't put your arms up and around your body. So. Yeah, that's the Premiership rundown done and dusted. Fancy football, I've got these results as well. So we've got the weekly and the monthly winner.
I'm just going to ask you a quick question while you get that up.
Yes.
And there was a big debate, wasn't it, on Sky, I believe, between Carragher and Keane.
I've still not seen it yet.
It's very, very good. And I'm not a big Keane fan in terms of, I think sometimes, and rightly so, Sky have got him on for a bit of clickbait or a bit of, say something different. But I think he was dead right. Why on earth are you going to Chelsea and see Ronaldo on the bench? And Carragher was trying to say, but, he's not guaranteed every play and all this kind of stuff. And Keane was saying, but Man United have a cup team. He's come here to win trophies, not the Premiership, because even with Ronaldo, they're miles off it. And do you know what Carragher said? But what's the point? He you know what Keane turned around and said? Well, you never won the FA Cup, Jamie. And he basically likened Liverpool in the mid noughties and stuff. That at the end of that, they were way off winning the Premiership.
Yeah.
So win some cups, get some momentum. So actually,
so was it his argument for having Ronaldo on the bench or against having Ronaldo on the bench?
Keane wanted Ronaldo. He says he has to start every game.
See, I don't think he can start every game.
I think you start him every game. You've got to start at Chelsea.
But you're saying that they went 1-0 up without him.
True, but I don't think they needed him. I think that was clearly a commercial selling, and like we said before, that I think Ronaldo has managed that move himself, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I don't think he actually needs him. No, they needed him, but if he's there, he plays for them.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, on to the weekly winner, Lisa Bateman. Congratulations with 77 points.
That's very good. Lisa, I don't know who you are.
I have no idea either, and I don't even know the monthly winner is Oliver King.
No.
So Kingy and Beatty. Congratulations.
She's coming over to you.
Yeah, get in contact. So yeah. Right. So we'll do the cricket. We'll do cricket, then we'll do Ralph in a second.
All right. So cricket Ashes. Yeah. So it starts in a week's time.
Yes.
Very excited about that.
It's just a shame that you can't get in the country, can you?
No, because I was due to go. That was
your birthday, yeah.
Yeah, that was what we were due to go. Me and Shell were going to go for the Ashes. Well, next week it would have been, wouldn't it, for 2 or 3 weeks? But can't get there, unfortunately. But yeah, so looking forward to that. It's very interesting that preparations for both sides have gone. So Australia have been playing some domestic cricket, obviously, but their captain has obviously resigned. Tim Payne been involved in.
I believe the bowler's in for it, isn't he?
Yeah, so Pat Cummins, so that's completely new. Yeah, very good. But just bowl a bit out. It's quick though, a bit quicker than Charlie. And England haven't played a game because they've been in Brisbane. They've obviously, after Test side went a few weeks ago and quarantined, they've been training, and then the ones who've been playing T20 cricket went after they've been here. But I think they've played. I think they did get on today, so I think they were due to play 2 3-day games between themselves. So, because the England Lions are there as well. The first game was 20 overs, got washed out for 2.5 days. And the first 2 days of this last game has done the same. They did get on today, but we've played, I don't know what the score is. So, it'll be interesting. We're both sides undercooked.
But I tell you, interesting though, is that sometimes that can play in your favour. Is that all of a sudden, because you've already got the excuse already in place where you're not expected to do well because you've not played any games, is it can actually play in their favour, and they've got no pressure on them. You know, coach goes out and just says, whatever happens first test happens, and then somebody just plays a little bit.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I'm a little bit concerned about the fact whether we might get whitewashed, I'll be honest. Obviously, looks like the weather in Australia is really bad, so it might play a part, and I think we can't ignore the fact that COVID still might be an issue too. So I just hope they go and give a good account of themselves. I hope they pick the right team. And it'd be more than anything, it'll be just good to watch some Test cricket again. 4 o'clock in the morning, Wednesday morning starts our time in Stu, so I shall be up.
That is minging.
I should be up, I'll get the first session in, then have a shower and get myself to work. What more do you want?
Well, yeah, we've only got really a day and a half at that point, haven't we?
Looking forward to it.
Right, so what would your honest predictions be? So you're worried about a whitewash, but put you on the spot now. What score is it going to be?
I hope I'm wrong, but 3-1 Australia.
Okay, right. So we've heard it here. 3-1 Aussies. Right, on to Ralph Ragnick.
What his name is?
Whatever he's called, Ralphie.
Ralph. Will he wreck it or not?
The funny thing is that is a big question, isn't it? Because Jurgen Klopp's come out supporting him, saying how much of a good coach he is and how he's done X, Y, and Z, and he's really concerned about it. And Ralph's obviously posted a few things here and there. Did you see his post about the press and pregnancy? So he says you can't, as a team, just press a little bit. You either press or you don't press. It's like being pregnant. You're either pregnant or you're not. That's
fairly true, isn't it?
But yeah, you're pretty much, you're either in or out, aren't you?
I did read that he, you're definitely in if you're pregnant.
Yeah.
I did read that he has five philosophies of football or something. The way you press, the way you do with the ball, without the ball, when you lose the ball, and set pieces or something.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
Well, fair enough. But right, so I asked Jack the other day, Ralph's coming to the Premiership. Is this a good appointment or a bad appointment for Manchester United?
Without knowing too much about it, I don't know if it's permanent, semi-permanent, whatever. I think it has to be a good appointment because it's got to be better than what they've got. But they've had Ollie for 18 months, and like I said before, I keep him at the wheel because everybody makes sure that Man United will be lower than what they need to be. I think he'll inject a bit of steel, a bit of discipline, and obviously, I don't know a great deal about him, I must admit, but listening to Klopp and Conte said the same, and Tuchel and what he's done elsewhere at the clubs he's been at, he's clearly he's got some calibre. However, I'm just not quite sure how that corresponds to the Premiership. So I think, compared to what they've had and what they've got at the minute with Carroll, it's got to be a good appointment. You disagree, though, don't you?
I completely disagree. I think it's a bad move completely. This guy is a projects guy. He has taken, was it Hoffenheim and RB Leipzig?
Yeah.
He took RB and Hoffenheim from no divisions at all, built the infrastructure, built this club up from scratch, and obviously got them into the top ends of the German division. United don't need that. They don't need rebuilding. They've got the structure in place. They've got everything else in place. They need somebody to come and manage the team. They need a good coach. They need a strong coach. I agree with the Discipline Act. I think they definitely need some form of discipline in there. They need to sort X, Y, and Z out. But they don't need a project manager in. They don't need somebody that's going to come in and go, right, okay, we're going to scrap this, do this, and look at academy. They already produce so many quality young players. They don't need all that.
They're still doing that, aren't they?
So for me, Ralph, and I mentioned this ages ago on the podcast, would have been better Newcastle United as director to oversee the new structure of Newcastle, because they need a lot of areas working on, and then bring a good coach in like Eddie Howe underneath and work that aspect. United needed a Conte. Somebody with discipline. I know people will then say, Mourinho was that type of manager, but then you argue that Mourinho with that squad performed better than any other previous managers.
Of course he did. He's the only one since Ferguson. He's the only one who's won a trophy and finished second in the league.
Yeah.
And to coin a phrase from him, Man City cheated and won the league.
Yeah.
So I agree. I agree with that aspect, and I think what you said there, I wouldn't disagree with the fact that structure is not what they need. They're still producing young players.
Yeah.
They need somebody to get hold of that set of players and start, playing some good football.
Yeah, but I think I'd understand it a little bit more if they'd put in a long-term contract for him. If he was then going to go, right, we're going to sell all the driftwood and restart. But he's on a 6-month contract, isn't he, initially?
Yeah, bizarre.
With the potential to extend for 18 months. So I just don't know where that's going.
Well,
I can't see it.
I think they're waiting to see how Conte does at Spurs. Because I've said before, Conte must have been promised stuff, but he's not. He's a little bit like Mourinho in terms of if things don't go where he wants, he'll walk away because he can get another job, and he'd walk into the Man United job, wouldn't he, tomorrow? Yeah. If all of a sudden he walked away this afternoon, he'd be Man United manager in 48 hours.
I bet now he's seen Spurs in action. He's probably wishing that.
Probably right. But there we go.
But right, time now is we are on 4:45. My lad's playing again in about half an hour. So we'll be heading back to a pitch side very, very shortly. What have you got on, brother? You coming down to watch?
I could stay here for watch, have another few sherbets. I think the wife's been ringing me, so we best go.
Right, okay.
And see what goes, and then ready for tomorrow.
Yes, end of the day, Jack.